Do you want to know how adults should disagree? Well, the principles are the same for when children disagree. That might surprise you. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all about parenting, good communication, and how to build strong relationships all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about how adults should disagree. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the power of the skill disagreeing appropriately, which is one of the key self-government skills for a person's success. And also, we are going to see that skill in action right here in studio today, which will be a lot of fun. And we'll talk about how you can get to a place of better understanding with all of the adults in your life. So I am known around the world for teaching parenting. In fact, this book here, Parenting a House United, is probably the book that I'm the most known for. So in this book, I tell the skills and principles of self-government. One of those principles that is also a skill set is disagreeing appropriately. So what does that mean when you disagree appropriately? That means that you have a disagreement with someone, but you do it in a way where understanding can be achieved, where even a relationship or a bond can form. Shouldn't you feel closer to a person after you've had a discussion, even if you didn't fully agree with the other person's point of view? The answer is yes, it is possible. Boy, we have all seen when people do not disagree appropriately and what happens, right? We have seen adults behave in juvenile, wild ways. In fact, our society is becoming more and more wild all of the time. We are bullying each other, dumping our emotions out on each other in non-productive ways. When we have skills that we can use if we just choose to find out what they are and use them. Some of those skills are in this book, and one key skill is disagreeing appropriately. When a person chooses to disagree appropriately, they choose to seek to understand the other person's point of view and then share their point of view, listen to the other person, and then say okay and drop the subject. So that means that they stay calm, look at the other person, try to understand where the other person is coming from, then share what they want the other person to know. Then listen. Then say okay, because if you can't change somebody's opinion, then what point is there in arguing? None. You just say, okay, well, that's where we are. And then you drop the subject. You don't carry bad feelings about it or anything like that. Now, as an adult, I know that sometimes, even if somebody else doesn't agree with you, that does not mean that you are done pursuing whatever it is that you feel like you need to pursue. No. With a parent and a child, if the child wants to stay up late and the parent says no, the child needs to drop the subject and just go to bed, okay? Because that's different. That's parent and child. But when you are both working against each other on a particular issue, let's say maybe it's a political issue or something like that. I work in political spheres all the time, making legislation, trying to influence legislators so that they will do things that are better for families, for children, for parents, and for just overall freedoms. Anyway, and what I've noticed is that I don't always see eye to eye with every other person that I'm working with. But another thing that I've noticed is that the majority of people do not know how to have a conversation with you in a way where they disagree and understand you all at the same time. This is a skill that sets some people apart. I like to think that it's a skill that sets me apart. In fact, it was interesting. One person said to me in this last legislative session that I participated in, well, Nicholeen, you just want everybody to talk nice to each other. And I said, well, I don't see why we can't. You know, why can't we talk nice to each other? Just because we don't agree does not mean that we have to be disrespectful or unkind. Throughout the history of this world, people have not agreed with each other. But it's the powerful ones, that learn how to disagree appropriately. And then they get something done even if they didn't fully agree with everyone. So maybe I can't change somebody's opinion. That doesn't mean I won't go talk to the next person, however. And still think of that other person with a position of respect because they maintained their position, and I honor that. So how do you disagree appropriately with an adult? Let's take a look at that. But first, is this topic interesting to you? Well, there are a myriad of self-government topics and skills that you can learn on this channel that won't just help you in your family relationships, but they will help you at the office and everywhere. So if you like this channel, click subscribe now. And don't forget that notification bell so that you get notified when new content comes out. So this is Taylor, and if you've seen some of our other videos about disagreeing appropriately, then you'll know that Taylor is 17, which means she's not quite an adult yet.
We're almost there.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to pretend that you're like 3 months older than you are.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, okay. It could change, everything could change in 3 months. Suddenly you're an adult and it feels exactly the same. Okay, so in fact, did you know, just as for your own FYI, that many adults maintain their skill level that they had when they were your age?
Really?
All the way along.
I didn't know that. That's actually interesting.
They do. So if we have a problem with adults not knowing how to disagree appropriately with each other, it's probably because when they were 17 and 16, they didn't learn the skill.
Roots back.
Yes, it does. So you're lucky today because you're learning the skill and it's going to help you for your whole life, including 3 months from now.
Beautiful.
Okay, so Taylor is going to be the guinea pig and she is going to pretend she's 3 months older and we are going to disagree appropriately. So we're going to pretend that we're at the office.
Okay.
Well, because we are. This is the
We're
office. Okay, so what we're going to do, Taylor, is we're going to say that I come in. Essentially, I'm kind of like the boss of this office because this is my videos, right, that we're making. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell you no to something. I'm going to try to throw you off your game a little bit. No, normally I wouldn't try to, right? But in this case, we're going to just throw you a little curveball. But then you are going to disagree appropriately. So what she's going to do is she's going to prep me by saying, hey, I'm going to disagree appropriately with you about something. That's totally fine to do, adults. Or you could just start the process. But she's going to stay totally calm. She's going to say that she understands my point of view. Then she's going to share her point of view. And then she's going to listen to what I have to say because technically I am the boss in this circumstance. So she'll have to say okay and drop the subject. She can't take it personally. Okay? All right, so here I come. I'm walking in. She just has this beautiful setting all set up and everything. And I say, hey, Taylor, I really don't want to film here because we have made too many videos in this location in the house lately. And so I really need you to move to a different spot. And I know you've just set all this up, but I got to have you move it.
Can I disagree appropriately with you?
You betcha.
I understand that you don't want me to film here because we've done so many videos. However, because it's already set up and we're short on time, can we please film a couple here?
That's a good point. Looking at the time, it would probably take a full 15 to switch to a new. Okay, you're right. But in the future, let's totally remember to stay away from this location for just a couple of videos. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, you are awesome. So look at that. We solved our problem. I was able to state my concern that we've had too many videos in this location, which, by the way, is not true. Okay, I was just making that up. Okay, because she always picks the place where I'll look the best, right? Anyway, which maybe is here. Anyhow, but she was able to express herself and bring me back to reason a little bit. And then I was willing to see her point of view. But if I was having a bad day and I actually wasn't on my game and I wasn't seeing your point of view and I still said, no, we got to move it, you would just have to say, okay, and drop the subject, right? And we might go a little bit over on our filming time today. Anyway, that is how it can look when you disagree with adults. So what you saw in the role play that I had with Taylor was we both wanted to have a good disagreement. We wanted to understand each other, but sometimes some people don't want to understand the other person. They want to shut the other person down or not have to hear them at all. And one person might disagree appropriately, but another person could still be coming at them in their face or trying to, create more and more of an argumentative circumstance for them. So then what do? Well, I'm a principled person. The answer is stick to your principles. Stick to your principles. So if the principle is disagree appropriately, you stick to it. You do not take the bait. An arguer wants you to argue. They want to pull you into the power struggle. And if you don't get pulled in, it doesn't work. Plain and simple. So then you just start describing, I can see that you really feel passionate about this and that we need to talk about this, but we probably need to choose to be calm first, then we can talk about it. And what's your point of view in that? I'm not going to talk till I'm calm. That's it. Oh, right now, I know that we have an important topic we need to discuss, but I also know that we got to do it in a calm way, right? Or so we just need to be calm. Let's get calm first. I understand you're feeling a little passionate about this, but I know for me that I need to be calm first. So you see how you just point them toward that, or you say, okay, I see that you're talking to me now about the proposal is not how you like it. I see that. Or I see that you're talking to me about how you didn't like that this happened in the office. Or I see that you didn't like the dinner that I prepared. I hear that. I hear that. We need to get calm so that I can explain to you what I need you to hear too. But if they won't, you just keep saying, this is what I see, this is what I see, this is what I see. And if it does not pull you into a power struggle and they cannot shut you down at all and you keep describing everything that they are doing, they don't know what to do next. A person like that has no more tricks up their sleeve. So when we talk about disagreeing with an adult, remember that the person who maintains calm and who maintains their disagree appropriately principles by describing instead of reacting, they are always going to maintain the upper hand. That's just how it is. So Taylor was incredibly helpful at showing how a mature person should handle a disagreement. I do know, however, that there are many people who do not know this skill yet. So how do you teach the skill to somebody? Just like what Taylor did. Hey, can I disagree appropriately with you about something? Or I'd like to disagree appropriately with you if that's okay. Just prep them that you have a skill. You might even say, I've been trying to use this skill so that I do a better job at my disagreements. Suddenly they're paying attention to what you are doing. Do you know that one of the best ways to promote good skills among the adult population is to just start using them and to deliberately declare what you're doing? So if you feel like there's another person in your life that needs to learn more about disagreeing in an appropriate way, then just start doing it. And if they don't take the clue anytime soon, no problem. You have a lot more peace, calmness, and happiness because you chose to disagree appropriately as well. Disagreeing appropriately is an incredibly powerful skill. It sets people apart. You want the job promotion? Solve your problems with disagreeing appropriately. You want to convince people to see your way on a piece of legislation? Disagree appropriately. You want to solve a problem with a neighbor who is getting in your face about something? Disagree appropriately. Say that you really understand them. Try to really understand them. Seek to understand, then to be understood. This is a power skill no matter what circumstance you are in. I can teach you so much more about the skill disagreeing appropriately, and I would like to do that. In fact, I have created a full class about disagreeing appropriately on this channel. I highly recommend that the next video you watch is the one called Full Class about Disagreeing Appropriately. You will learn why it works and how to use it in a more effective manner, as well as more details about those exact steps of disagreeing appropriately. So click on the link to Full Class about Disagreeing Appropriately now. I'll see you there.